Hey everybody, you see new hairstyle. Just did these braids. I gotta tie it down because these edges don't ever stay. But anyway, I gotta stop affirming that. Anyways, today I wanted to do a series about health. So a lot of times we don't feel like it's easy to manifest physical changes, especially when it comes to the health department, because we've had this idea, this conception of our bodies as being something that we can't change, something that we kind of have to live with and accept, like different diagnoses and diseases and illnesses, when the reality is a key component of being healthy is your mindset about it, what you think is possible for you, what you think you can do to change things, if it's easy or if it's hard. If you have a certain mentality or a certain belief system that things are hard or impossible to do, that's the parameters that your life is going to be set in. So especially when it comes to health and healing, the truth is, as spiritual beings, as consciousness, we're already whole. So we just came down here in these bodies to be able to experience coming back into that wholeness, that awareness of wholeness, and being truly connected with everything that we see, hear, smell, all the senses. So, especially in terms of health, we realize that we go from being identified with the body to the body just being a external representation or expression of our soul. So, today I wanted to focus more on the mental emotional aspect because, like I said, that's 90% of what people consider to be healing is their belief in if it's possible or not. So if you can shift your mindset, especially when it comes to health, your relationship with health, just deciding that from the mental health aspect, being happy, being positive, being confident, having positive assumptions, having healthy assumptions about life and what is possible for you, that's a big adjustment that will naturally allow everything in your life to express more health that you already been connected to but maybe weren't perceiving. It's putting your attention on less of the things that are going wrong for you and instead focusing on what's going right. So it's being able to have that healthy focus and attention on the positive things, or looking at things from a growth perspective instead of things that are like setbacks or things that are hurting you. When you realize that you make the decision that nothing can hurt you and everything is here to help you and serve a purpose, that alone changes your relationship to everything in your life. It's literally changing your relationship with yourself as well and what you formerly identified with. So, just in the case of mindset and mental health, a lot of times we'll have the assumption that things are wrong with us, things are wrong with our lives, just overall rejecting ourselves in different ways. Maybe we're not accepting of ourselves, we're not seeing ourselves as good enough, and then that can kind of snowball into physical conditions, diseases. But even the word disease is dis-ease. It's a lack of ease. So just your mentality of not seeing things from an accepting point of view, accepting enough so that you can allow yourself to experience change versus kind of like giving in and thinking that you can't do anything about it. Those are two different completely things, but completely different things, sorry. Um, or seeing yourself as some sort of having some sort of weakness because you don't see yourself as capable of thinking of how you could possibly overcome something. What people perceive as miracles are not anything that should be so unexpected. Like, we're capable of doing anything as long as we can put our mind to it. So it's literally just changing your relationship to your mind and seeing your thoughts as a tool to help you focus your energy to create things and manifest things into your life, as well as your emotions as tools to communicate with yourself and see what's my relationship with this and how would I like it to change. If something makes you frustrated, it goes back to whatever your belief system is. If you don't believe you are healthy and whole, then of course you're going to struggle to see your body as whole and perfect and complete. Like, your body is capable of doing so many things, but I didn't really want to talk about the physical today because that's going to be tomorrow day too. But it's just having the mindset that I can do anything as long as I can accept that in my mind, as long as I can feel that to be true and feel that as a knowing. Just realizing that nothing has gone wrong. Most likely you haven't been self-aware enough to recognize how any negativity that you've been focused on was surfacing. And if you do that consistently enough, it can manifest into physical form. So just knowing the relationship that you can change between your mind, your emotions, and just describing what health would be like in that sense. So obviously health would feel like being at ease. Health would feel like being just in love with your body, in love with life. Like I could honestly just feel the warmth like swelling up in my body just by talking about it. But just a general sense of happiness. Like I love being healthy. Just the mindset of a healthy person. I love being healthy. I love being so full of energy. I love being so full of joy and happiness and peace. I feel so at ease. I feel so comfortable in my body. Like I never felt so great in my entire life. Every day I feel better and better. I feel calm and collected when it comes to my emotions. I feel capable of reacting differently and reacting accordingly so that I feel at ease in any situation. I feel fearless. I feel confident. I feel just so powerful. I feel so enriched. I feel like I can just talk myself into any state. I feel like I'm capable of being the healthiest I've ever been. Like just what a healthy mindset would be like for you. Just thinking if only, obviously the point is not to just only have positive thoughts. The point is to change your relationship with all thought. Meaning, if you're used to having negative thoughts and feeling a reaction from it, change your relationship with the thought to the point where it doesn't trigger you. And all you have to do is no longer believe in the thought, because that's the only thing that gives it power. If you didn't believe that you weren't healthy, or that something was wrong with you and that you weren't perfectly made just to be the way you are, then you would never really reject the thoughts. You would be able to soothe yourself and say, you know what, it's okay if I'm having a bad thought. I know that that doesn't manifest. I know that because I decided I have a healthy mindset, I manifest positive things, and only positive things can manifest. Having negative thoughts isn't going to bother you because, one, you know it's not true for you. Two, you know just because you have those thoughts, it has nothing to do with who you are. Like, it doesn't change your healthy mindset. The thing about it is, people will think that you have to be perfectly happy, only have good thoughts. That's not the case, because people who are in a happy, positive, wealthy state, they have negative thoughts. It's just they don't believe in them enough for it to get to the point where they manifest. They don't fester on things. They don't continue to dwell on things. They have that growth mindset instead of that limited mindset. It's not something that they even spiral about, because their relationship to that thought is different in that positive state than it is in a negative, depressed, unhappy state. In those states, you're in the belief system where you're limited to those thoughts, and you feel like those thoughts are the only thing that's real for you. It's really just about your mindset and recognizing that everything is going to be as it is. You're just changing your point of view and your relationship to it. So that's what it is to really change your state. So just to be in a state of health, your relationship to any symptoms, any thoughts you could have is going to be a positive one. You'll be like, this is just something to help me remember, stay positive. This is just something to help me to focus on being grateful for my health. This is just something to help me to persist in knowing that I'm choosing a state of health permanently. So disease, none of those things affect me. I don't even think those things are possible, because I know as consciousness, health, we have an abundance of health. There's nothing that you ever have to worry about. Like, you can even manifest away having fears, worries, frustration. None of those things are even necessary when you decide that that's not even a part of who we naturally are. It's just part of the experience. And once you kind of accept that, you recognize and you can be appreciative to having contrast to allow you to choose more of what you want instead of choosing those other possibilities. And then you get to choose a reality where none of that exists for you, and you're just naturally in a healthy, positive state. It's just stepping into that embodiment of the version of you who has always had perfect health, and just knows that you can change anything if you just change your mindset about it. So I think that's a great place for me to end day one on my health series. And stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll talk about more physical symptoms dealing with the relationship with your body. See you guys tomorrow.